there are some things that are important, something like having a predator-proof coop. What's going on today, Maureen? So have you got the chicken bug yet? I've been a chicken tender for 4 years now, and I absolutely love it. And I know it's become kind of the popular, cool, hip, chick, groovy thing to do, but it does take a commitment, and there are some things that are important. Something like having a predator-proof coop. So I want to take you and show you the coop that we built and our playground that we've also designed in the background. And later on, I'm going to be visiting a friend of mine and also show you a different style of coop in a backyard. So then you can weigh the pros and cons and see what fits your budget and what fits your lifestyle. First off, let's let those ladies out. Okay, we're gonna let you out. But I first have to describe to everybody what's going on here. Shh, you have to be quiet. So we've got this gate here that is attached to a ring on this other side. And then we put up this extra gate that just hangs here because the ladies are known to jump and fly over. So this is an extra deterrent. Okay, you can come out. Come on, everybody out. Come on, let's go. Yep, off you go. Some grasses and destroy my yard. Go ahead. You're gonna go outside? You're gonna go outside? This Coop and Run design was created and designed by April Wilkerson. So I ordered the plans. We did a few modifications to it so that it would actually fit in my yard. This is an overview of the coop right now. And this extra cover is something that we put on for the summertime. We attached it up here on 2 hooks and just put some garden landscape fabric on there and stapled it to some wire. And the reason being, the window is right here and the sun in the morning and early afternoon goes in here, which makes it very warm. So this is where the nesting boxes are. Yes, I know that the E is missing. It's been missing from the beginning, and then I even lost this in the soil, and I just have to time it to the right time of climate so that I can glue it up again. So we've put on these kinds of locks, and the nesting box are here. Now, we also have a hook here that will actually leave the door open, which is one of the reasons why we actually first started putting that shade cover on top, because I had a broody hen in here and it would just get so hot, and we could put this up, put the shade cloth on, nobody decided to jump out, and it would just help to keep it cooler. This year though, the babies, they figured it out right away and they would escape. Even though Gracie is still very broody, I'm not opening this up, but I'm leaving the shade cloth on just to keep it covered. But it is a very, very cute coop. We started out with a 4-foot by 4-foot table and built it up from there. Below under here, we do have hooks that we can open this up and actually pull the bedding out. These screens that we have on the windows, these two also can be removed. Another thing that I have is my food bins, which are right here. This yellow bin is the snack bin, but I've used these Rubbermaid bins for the last 4 years, and it was only last year that rodents tried to get in, so we've just put some tape. But in here I have the baby food, and I can fit 2, maybe 3 big bags in here, and then in this one I've got the ladies' pellets. I chose to use the Rubbermaid bins just because the metal ones sitting on the soil there, they will start to rust over time. But then with last year having the first time that, you know, the mice or the rats tried to get into it, the other thing I could do is I could actually get a smaller metal one and put it inside just to keep it protected. One modification is that we made the Coop Run a lot shorter because it would not fit in here. Hi, Gracie. Are you having a break from being broody right now? Good. The nighttime, of course, we close up the coop so that it is protected. And below all these wood shavings is a hardwire mesh that's down below. That way, if there is any animals that want to dig down here, they can't come up and dig through there because they can't get through the wire. So we have our little gangplank, but we'll start up underneath it. As I said, under here is the hardwire mesh, but underneath the coop where we have their food, there are concrete bricks. So again, no animal can dig through and come on up. So this is a very, very secure coop. One modification that we made here is we put in a human door here, which would allow us to have access for cleaning and for any difficulties that might come along. There is supposed to be another cleaning here so that you could actually open it up and then push right through to this other side. This is the other door that does open up. I've used it maybe once or twice because this is super convenient. We originally built these stairs and they were a lot wider when we just had the first group of chickens. But then as we added this roosting bar. And then now that we've added the babies, we've added this roosting bar. So the ladies can climb up and get up in here. So we have a window on this side. I do have a tarp hanging down there. We close up the window in the winter and also let the tarp down just to protect it from extra rain. And over here we have the nesting boxes. There's normally 3, but 1 is getting clean today. Now, as you can see, it is pretty grimy and dirty in here. And we typically do a scrub down in the spring and the fall. I use the deep litter method. So if we look at the bottom here, we put down a floor tile, so this would be something that would be easy to wash. Now we use the deep litter method, and this is of course not as deep as what it gets once we get into the winter. But what I do is in the mornings, I just come and I do a little bit of a poop scoop with my kitty litter scooper and remove it and give it a bit of a stir. I'm going to be using some more wood chips and also refilling the nesting boxes. One thing I think that would be really great for in here for the summertime is sand. Because the sand, again, it's not going to hold moisture. It's going to allow me to sift through. I probably wouldn't be throwing out as much wood chips, but unless I can get a handle on some very inexpensive sand, I'm just going to still, do the deep litter method. So from the other side, this is a very short coop run, and that is the modification, of course, that we made. And we just put on 2 roosting bars. It doesn't fit everybody, but that's why we decided to build what I call the playground. We do have a swinging door so that if we do need to close it up and keep the ladies protected in there, we can, or if we need to do separation. We built rafters against the studio here, and the playground is all behind my studio. So it is a really great thing because there is a tree here and it keeps it nice and cool. I've covered it in wood chips, so again, it keeps the area clean and dry. We have 3 compost bins. 1 is here, and then there are 2 that are there. And I only put green foliage, and a few vegetables will go in here. And I don't turn them over, I just let them sit throughout the year, just keep adding. And as you can see, we've just got beautiful composted soil. Oh, and a big poop. Right beside it, we created a dust bath for them. So I fill it up with peat moss and sand and let the ladies have a dust bath. And if we just go on the other side of this tree, I have this old little makeshift run that what I do is I take this run and I put it over top of their dust bath. So in the wintertime, they can still dust bath and be protected. And then throughout the summer, though, it is a place to be. Then if we just continue along, on the other side of the studio is this long corridor with another gate at the other end. And again, we just put rafters, attached them to the fence, and then we put on this netting. This is to prevent the girls from jumping the fence or any birds of prey from coming in. I do have a little picnic table in here. It was a little kids picnic table, and what I had done is put soil in, and I used to grow things in it, but I haven't been able to kind of keep up with that. And then this is a roost that we call the Koopa Cabana that we built, and the ladies can just perch themselves on there and be protected with this little covering. But I put all these other little things because they'll all sit down in here and wait to see when I come out the door. So this is their, when is Maureen coming out? So they watch and wait for me from here. This is another gate. I do have wood chips here, so we can't open and close it at this time, but if it was something that I needed to do, it's just nothing to move the wood chips. And again, if we just swing ourselves around from this other end, you can see the corridor. So there's lots of space for the girls to run in here, and they are protected with this netting, which is just wonderful. Coming around the corner, and you can see the run. So this has worked out great, having my studio building here and being able to utilize behind it, because when I first bought the house, we mostly would just throw compost back there, and it was just full of brambles and stuff like that. But all of those are gone, of course, because of the ladies and the wood chips. No vegetation can grow in there because of those chickens. I'm super pleased with being able to build this with my daughter and my friend. We'd never built anything really big, and so this was a real exciting adventure that we went on to show that yes, we could do it. My girlfriend, her husband, he kind of oversaw it, and he was the one that did the modifications to this coop, which was great to have, but he was always there for us to ask questions when he'd come home for his lunch break. But I'm going to show you my second coop that I have, because I have what I call a chicken hospital. And if we come from here, you can see that corridor, and you can see where the ladies like to hang out. But in behind, on my lower deck here, we have the chicken hospital. And I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for, I think, about $30. And if you recall, when my dining room was getting too chickened and too chickened, we moved this coop out into the backyard, and we would put the babies there for the day because they needed more space than just being in their brooder. If I have a sick chicken, then this is a place that we can put them. This style of coop is really great for just if you have a couple of chickens. Of course, the nesting box is here. This is an entrance, and there's those nesting boxes. And then it does have a very small coop run. I really love this style because it does have a large door here so that you can have access to the chickens. But it also has a door here, so again you have access to the chickens, which is really great. You know, another thing is that you don't have to have a chicken hospital. Before I ended up getting this little second coop, I just would keep them in the house inside a bin, and that was perfect. When you have a chicken that's not feeling well or broody, they don't need a big space. So I was just keeping them in the house. This just made it convenient for me to have it outdoors as well. This style is great if you're just going to have a couple of chickens just to be able to have your daily eggs. So off to my friend Brian's we'll go. Well, hello, Brian.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Diva. Looking forward to this for at least, I don't know, a day.
Yeah.
So welcome to the girls' world.
Okay,
Our backyard.
shall we let them out?
Sure. They have been waiting for you, as maybe more so than even me. So these four girls, here they come. They're a couple of years old. They're speckled Sussex. People describe them as a chicken that acts like a dog. And they love their snacks, of course.
Oh.
Right, a little bit of a... You want to come up here? You want to come up? Right here, it's in my hand. Okay.
Usually they jump right up on you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do, but I usually have it in a little can, and so they're waiting for the
shaky sound.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in a corner lot here in the bright lights of Saanich, and we have a neighbor right there, and we have a neighbor right there, but somehow they consider their chickens to be a blessing.
Yeah.
because the children love to come over and play with them.
Yeah.
Because they're just so nice, these little girls. They were raised, you know, in the house in their little rooter.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like them, and they're not too noisy.
No.
They have a bedroom window up there, and they sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
5 in the morning.
Yeah. But this is on the back side of your property,
It
and
is.
so there is some distance.
There is.
Now, your coop here, it's very similar to my chicken hospital, except for you've got a whole extra extension added onto it. So I would love for you to, you know, show me some
Absolutely.
of the features
So
that you've added onto this.
$75 used off UVic. They're usually $300+ for it. They are way too small for 4 chickens. I
Yes.
mean, this would be horrific to put them in here. It has this little slider that you can slide a door. You won't be able to see it, but you can shut them in to this part right in there. And so what I've done is modified the 2 nest boxes. This is the business end of it, really. This is my favorite part. Oh, we have one little jewel in here, 1 egg today. They usually lay later in the day. But what I did is I built the perch to come all the way across so that 4 of them can line up there. They were hugging each other way too much.
Yes.
And one was always in the nest box
Yeah.
overnight, and so that solved that because they only need one.
Yes.
4 chickens.
Yeah.
I mean, just need 1 nest box. It's
That's
fine.
awesome.
And this is really convenient. You don't have to go in the coop because, of course, that's there.
Good.
But this is the best part, I think, over here. Now, this is not a novel idea. There's numbers on. What do you want? Huh? What do you want? What do you want?
They are like dogs.
Little chickens. Aren't you funny? Aren't you funny? You just love to be messed with, right? So, got this idea off of a woman on YouTube that's got a lot of chickens. She has even more tattoos than chickens. It's just, she's really good at chickens and tattoos, I think. But the one reason I've done this is that we go away for a couple of weeks, and we have a granddaughter, Audrey. Give her some kudos because she comes over and she knows how to add water, which you can lift the little lid off, and in here there is a float that sits on top of the water level inside. So when that goes down, it tells me right now that I have somewhere between half and empty.
Oh,
for
that's brilliant.
the water. Does that make some sense? So
Yes.
if it's down here, when I add some water, that's what happens. It shows us. So you can see from a distance whether you need to attend to it. And the same thing with the pellets. Of course, you don't need a float in the pellets. You need a weight that just sits on top of it. And then, of course, here, again, for people that are coming and looking after chickens, they need to know where the pellets are in the scratch and the grit and the shells. And it's as easy as just, what do you want? Oh, okay. Come on over here. Come on over here. And you just pour that in there. We're using the half pellets. So with a small cooplet this size, you sure don't want to go in on your hands and knees,
No.
right?
Yes.
Put the weight there.
So there it shows that you are full.
Shows I'm full. Now, isn't that cool?
That is that's brilliant.
cool.
I've never seen this. I have seen people do the PVCs,
Yeah.
but I've not seen where you can actually, just by eyeballing it, know where things are at.
That's really cool. The water, they've got 2 kinds of, they call them chicken nipples, I guess. They can tap one and get the water out of the one on the side, and there's a little basin, like a little sink, and you can poke on a yellow trigger that
Okay.
brings out water. So by the way, the coop didn't come with this corrugated,
No.
and it's made a huge difference in terms of keeping the snow off and rain and insulating them a little extra. So it's rather than having this asphalt kind of thing that doesn't
Work,
all that well.
no.
It gets dirty. This one's a lot easier. So
Yeah.
I think that was a good modification.
Yes.
You notice in the corner I put 2 containers where one is for grit and the other's for shells. And you see what they do with one of them. Just one chicken likes to investigate. There's got to be something good in these shells rather than just oyster shells.
Yeah, so
and we'll dig it all out looking for
the good.
treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it looks like that. There's a flap door on here so that I can lock them in.
Oh,
sometimes.
cool.
So I built this run that has a hatch on a spring door.
Mm-hmm.
So I can show you that if you want.
Yes, I would love to see that.
All right. So sometimes you want the animals to be totally secure in their coop because the run is not rat proof, it's not raccoon proof. And so there have been times I have just made a flap door in this run that just goes down. There, done. So they are trapped in. But that's okay, you know, be in there for a few hours, and if they're up at 6 in the morning and I come out at 8, well, they got food and water, so that works okay.
You have this piece that's all covered in, is this 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch hardware mesh?
1/2 inch.
1/2 inch. And now I also see that you have 1/2 inch on the bottom of your coop. So the same as I have. And so that it's just going to keep it super safe. Nothing can dig up and go under.
That's why the flap door there. This run is open this end. I could have put the flap there, I guess. But I thought, well, I could put 2, I suppose.
Yeah, but also this doesn't have the mesh under the bottom of it.
No.
And so then you do have this door. Now, did you build this chute?
Yes, built this, and I thought, well, that's a good start. I mean, it's, you know, it's a little bit of exercise. You still feel like you're kind of in prison a little bit. So I went to, and I thought getting just some wire, which is 4 feet, you can make 3 sides out of a 4 feet piece of wire.
Right.
So I think the run is, how long is that, do you think, Maureen? From down to there to there?
Oh, that's a good 100 feet.
Well,
100
no, I think it's about 25.
25 feet, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a good,
yeah.
I am not good at measurements. And so you just have it on 3 sides and the fence.
3 sides and the fence.
Yeah.
And so they get dust bath down at that end they generally like. And the rest is as you see. I put some mulch in one time, but they just kicked it all out anyway. And I go, well, you know, some bark chips, and
Yeah.
didn't work.
And then you've got this plastic across it.
Winter time.
Right.
Yeah. Just make sure that it's right over top of them when the rains come, and now they've got a sunroom.
Which would probably also keep it warm, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So that's largely it. I have everything right here. That's what I like about it.
Yes.
I don't have to go anywhere to get some bedding straw. It's right here.
So you just cover that with,
And that's right. So that's waterproof.
everything is right here.
Right here.
And, you know, and like you said, you're not having to fill out the pellets in the water on a daily or, you know, semi-daily basis either.
It's about a 3-day supply.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
One could build a longer one.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping except the roof line here. And these are really popular. You can find these at almost any kind of online, anywhere. But adding a run, using a fence, I think is nice.
Yeah.
So I didn't check with my neighbor before I did this. They get eggs.
They get eggs. I was going to say, you know, with the new neighbors, it's like, here,
Exactly.
here's
we went over some eggs.
hello, here's a dozen eggs from our chickens.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
The front yard and get into the raised plots, but
Yeah,
generally
and
an
yours
hour
are
they don't
yours
get
are
into the
super. Oh, yours are super like calm about like me picking them up when I was here the other day. Like they just like she's not freaking out like.
No, I don't pick them up that much anymore, really. But
Hello.
they are very, very pretty. They're one reason I like the coloration is predators don't generally see them all that easily
Oh,
because
'cause
they
they're
look
dark.
a little bit like a bush hen.
Right.
You know,
Hello.
from you're quite talkative, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah, you're a good girl. They're all named.
What's that one's name?
That one is Stick because
Stick.
one of the kids said its tail just
Sticks
straight
right up.
Yep, that's right.
That's so cool.
But it's one of my favorite parts of living in the city is actually, this is only a couple of years we've been doing this.
Yes, yeah.
And so
Yeah, I
it's
remember when you first started, when you got the babies, but this is a really just a great setup, and you know, for however long it is. Okay.
And it wasn't a big expense.
No.
That's the nice thing about it.
Exactly.
You and I really, you don't want to have eggs that are worth $5 a piece.
No,
sure.
no. And so getting the coop at a reasonable price, and then, you know, the hardware mesh, it can, you know, get pricey, but the thing is that it's a one and done. You know, it's just really, really great. And then, you know, this extra bit over here, making that super economical.
Well, I like your coop as well. That's what you've taken advantage of a fence and the
Yes.
garage.
Yeah.
And that's just working smart. Because, hey girls, come on. Stick. Coming. Inside. There you go. That's it. It's in there. In there. There you go. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Come on. Come on. No, that part goes in too. Come on. There. There we go. But there's still one culprit out and about. I think I counted 3. Don't push that open. There. So they are quite cooperative, but there is a fourth one. Yeah, there she is. And it's nearly impossible. She has excavated by our back door. Yep, that's right. She likes her privacy. Come on, Ellie. Come on, girl. Yes, oh, I know. You're all dirty, though. Yes. Oh, you're so dirty. Yes, you're dirty. But you're happy. Tuk, 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 tuk. Tuk, tuk. You happy? Ready to join your mates? Here we go. Oh, you see, they're happy to hear you. There we go. There we go. This is good. This is really good for you. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yellow plum. Now talk about serious. They like that better than scratch, right? Here, this one you can have.
Well, this has been awesome, Brian. I really appreciate you.
No. It goes 2 ways.
You know, showing us, you know, here is a really great economical way. Just if you want to have, you know, 2 to 4 birds, they will fit in here, you know, especially adding on the extension.
So back to the dirt.
Back to the dirt. Anyway, we'll see you later.
Love you.
Thanks. Love you too.
Bye.
Are you singing the egg song? Did you lay your egg? You did? Oh, good job. There's a wee little egg. I ended up finding 2 more eggs, so I think there must be 3 babies that are laying, which it's a little bit early, but nonetheless, we get these cute little wee eggs, and one of them yesterday had 2 yolks in it. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the coop detours of looking at our 2 different types of coops that we have. These types of coops are a good place to start. You don't need to have all the fancy things. You can have something pretty simplistic, because chickens are actually kind of jungle forest animals, and they just roam around on the ground during the day and sleep in the trees at night. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. God bless.